Hello, humanity. Long time. I know, right? Once again, I stayed away longer than I expected. I actually had planned to come and give you guys some recipes yesterday, but I ended up some other things came into play. But anyway, I hope all is well. It's beautiful outside, and I'm hoping that the same beauty is going forth and with you all, humanity, that things are good and that they would stay good. But anyway, I yesterday I well, first of all, let me just give you my feedback on my exercising. I definitely believe that it is turning into a lifestyle. I know I won't know for another 6 months, but my mentality as it relates. Remember, I kept when I first started coming to you guys, maybe about I want to say maybe about 3 weeks in. No, about 3 days in. I no, maybe about a week in. I started talking about mentality. Well, I'm now with that again. Yesterday, I didn't get a chance to exercise, but believe me, it was on my mind. I had a run, a few runs that I had to make, and then on top of that, I had some things that I had to do, so I didn't get around to exercising, but I got the mobility in, I got the activity in, as it relates to various things that I was doing here. Just things that I had to do. So I did get that mobility in, and ordinarily it would have been a situation where I would have. Either procrastinated, or I would have just put at least one of the things off, because it was quite a bit for me. But nevertheless, I got it done, and yet still, my mind went towards, I really wish that, I had done my exercise. So I'm missing it now. So that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing, because when you think about how I have always been, as it relates to exercise, and me missing exercise, that means that it's slowly but surely being integrated into my mind. And once it gets fully into the mind, well, hopefully, you know how that goes when the mind changes. Everything else, it's a possibility. But so anyway, yesterday what I did was I got reckless. I was out and about. I was with family, enjoying myself, and I got a little reckless. But I don't even let that phase me. But one thing I am is, making myself stay conscious of. I mean, people are just out here getting so small and so slim, and it just looks so wonderful on them. Some people are eating clean, some people are, however they're doing it, but it just looks good on them. And it's like it's just going so slow for me, it seems. But and then I talk myself off of the ledge, so I don't. Well, I talk myself to keep from going to the ledge, in terms of self-sabotage. Individuals are different, and the more I listen, I realize, metabolic changes, just so many things can go and cause one to lose weight a lot faster than others. And so I try not to go down that road, but sometimes I find myself, still, well, wow, everybody's, they're losing weight so fast, and this, that, and the other. But I have to realize that none of it is vanity for me. At this stage in the game, it's all about health. So, I bring myself back to the reality of where this is for me, and I'm pretty excited, humanity, because. I was listening to a channel. I followed this gentleman for years too. He's a bodybuilder, health instructor, author, podcaster, just an all-around health guru, almost, you want to say. And I followed him for years, and I had lost my playlist book, so I couldn't. I'd been away for years, but just getting back, and he's doing amazing things. He's created his own products. He's created these Brazilian nut products, and it's just really, really exciting to hear him once again talk about things he was talking about on this last. podcast, he was talking about something called GLP-1. Don't quote me on it, but just go to his channel. You would be amazed. And he talked about amylose and how these things affect the body sugar and the cells and all of that. I can't explain it the way he does, but I mean, humanity, it's really, really exciting to hear people come, onto YouTube and just give us information that we would just never fathom of, and give us an inside look into our bodies. And for those of us that have struggled so long, it's a different type of struggle for us. There I go using that word again, dual, because a lot of people, they go, maybe they're just having, maybe health challenges and things like that, and not to diminish that at all. But there are a lot of us that, we're having the health challenges along with, the intense cravings, just the endless eating. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, we're coming out of the struggle. Some of us are just going into the struggle. Some of us are just identifying the fact that we do have a struggle. And so, nevertheless, it becomes doubly compounded when you're dealing with, when you're trying to get your health together, and then at the end of the day, you're craving. Hopefully, you weren't. You're not like I was, eating the equivalent of 4 individuals, and then to top that off, eating cakes, candies, donuts. I'm talking about a box of donuts, bag of candies, and then just cookies, a bag of cookies. And after consuming all of that sugar, you're still yet at the end of the day craving more sugar, eating enough for 4 individuals, and at the end of the day, you're still hungry. And if you've never had these challenges, if it's not this deep for you, the things that I say, you're probably not going to be able to relate to, because you probably have more discipline. You probably could never even fathom in your mind eating like that. But for those of us where the struggle is just that real, it's just that precise, it's good that we can go to YouTube or various places and hear individuals, give us feedback on what's going on in our body, the things that we eat, or maybe pondering about eating, the effects that they have on our body, or the effects that they don't have on our body. It's just good to have individuals that can share that knowledge with us, when we're just not privy to it, and a lot of us don't even understand if a lot of that stuff is out there. And they give, Thomas, he comes with so much simplicity, and you already know, I know it's redundant by now, but it really is the truth. I mean, I'm almost biased as it relates to simplicity. I love when individuals explain things to me like they're literally talking to a third grader, and he breaks it down so wonderfully, and he gives you so many options. And he touched on one thing, and it was like, wow, I just related so quickly, but I had literally forgotten. When I first started eating veggies exclusively, maybe about 10 years ago. It may have been longer than that, maybe been shorter than that. Well, I doubt shorter than that, but nevertheless, I can remember he talked about how a lot of individuals, he was doing a comparison contrast between the Mediterranean diet, and how the olive oils, the macadamia oils, and what do you say, avocado oils, and light olive oils, and yeah, the macadamia oils. Don't quote me on any of this, humanity. Go by his channel. But anyway, let me just say this, and then I'll spell his name out for you. But when he was doing the comparison contrast, he was saying, and I'm paraphrasing, he talked about how the Mediterranean diet, in a study, they said that particular diet did better than just the vegan lifestyle. And this is the reason why he said that a lot of people that eat vegan, they don't realize, even though they're not eating meat, they're eating a lot of the processed foods that they eat. It's still it renders and not the wellness that they should be getting in terms of like the processed foods. And instantly, humanity, I really registered with what he was talking about, because when I could remember with me and a loved one, when we first started, when we eliminated meat from the diet, there was so much to us, because we didn't know, such a limitation, you know what I'm saying. And you can just imagine what it was like for me. My loved one didn't have the cravings and the endless, bottomless eating. And so to be put in that kind of limitation and that kind of deprivation, on purpose, and wanting to stick with it, and of course trying to make that a lifestyle. uh it was pretty difficult in terms of our choices. And I always found myself, just wishing. I think that's a lot of the reason why this lifestyle, I won't say diet, this lifestyle eating really captured my attention, because the limitations and the deprivation. That a good example is just like, I made the Philly steak, and it was delicious, humanity. And keep in mind, I didn't have as many bell peppers as I wanted. I didn't have any turnips. I didn't have the mozzarella, or you know, what's that? Pepper jack cheese. And it came out wonderful to me. So I could just imagine when I go back in. And then I ran out of buffalo wing sauce. So there are so many things that I didn't have to include, and I just found myself, if it's this good without it. I did have a few. I had maybe about a spoonful of bell peppers, a spoonful of onions. Once again, I need to get to the groceries. I have a lot that I'm missing, but. Once again, humanity, it feels good to be able to have that variety. You know what I'm saying? When he talked about those limitations, and where you're thrust into maybe eating who knows what, as long as it doesn't have any meat, and you consume so much of that, and there's so many carbs, so much processed. Chemicals and what have you, and all of that. And then when I found myself trying to keep from smiling, because I thought about it. I was like, wow. I go to the refrigerator now, and it's not me. I have my reckless days. I had my reckless day yesterday, and I'm probably going to have a reckless day today, because I have a taste for French fries. I'm sure I'm almost positive you're saying you really have a lot of reckless days. But nevertheless, but it's true. I am going to eat some French fries today. But anyway, it feels good to know that when I go to the refrigerator now, humanity, I'm going and I'm preparing a meal out of cauliflower, out of beets, out of lentils, out of mushrooms, you know, kale. I'll go collard greens. I'll go and get a collard green, put some mayo on it. I'm trying to get on the other side of mayo too, with the oil and the eggs. I want to get on the other side of that is with the cheese. But nevertheless, I can go and get me a collard green, wash it off, put some mayo on it, put some vegetables on it, wrap it up, and the satiety is there. It's not like it's just something that oh, I saw a recipe and I'm going to eat it. No, I'll and throw in some mushrooms, throw on some seasoning, and I'll make me 2 or 3 sandwiches out of that, and I'm full and I'm good until the next day. Or if I decide later on that day, you know what, I'm still hungry, I go right back and get me another collard green, throw my vegetables on, put my seasonings in, and put my cheese on, and I'm good to go. So what am I saying? Humanity, it really does feel good. I have a long way to go. Make no mistake about it. As a matter of fact, the title of Thomas's this particular podcast that I listened to, it's about belly fat, and it's like, oh my goodness, I rush to that, because that's one of my target areas that I really need extensive work on. But nevertheless, um, anyway, I'm just excited because when he said that about the limitations, it just really reminded me, and I had forgotten just how limited the choices were. But when my mentality changed, because all of these things were there all along humanity, but see, when my mind changed, it caused me to explore other opportunities in terms of eating. I never would have thought to take turnips, bake them, season them up, and make a delicious sandwich out of it. I mean, and delicious to the point to where it's like I'm not forcing myself to eat it. I mean, it's like, I'm literally I can hardly wait to get to the grocer so I can get more turnips. You know what I'm saying? And turnips have always been there. The turnips, they weren't vacant from the grocers and this and the other. But I never had the mindset. I never had the mentality to go and purchase turnips from a store, bake them and season them up, and use that as a sandwich. When I made a sandwich, remember when I just got through talking about the limitation and this and the other, I would go and get the deli slices, at the grocers, and I can still remember, some of them were more had more natural products than the other, but a lot of them, you read the labels, and I can't even pronounce a lot of those preservatives that are in those deli slices. There's a young lady, remember I mentioned her on the last podcast, Aloha Kitchen. I can hardly wait to get the ingredients. She made some turkey deli slices out of protein, some vitamins, and I don't know if she used turnips or whatever, but it's just mind-boggling to see humanity, that we have choices that we haven't even begun to explore, and there are individuals out here, they're giving us this knowledge for free. They're exposing us for free, and I'm just so excited because I have so far to go, but knowing now that there are so many tools out here that can help us, and they're affordable, they're effortless to prepare, and take it from me, when you hear it from me, it has to be effortless for you to even get my attention. Anything where, as it relates to cooking, when it's extensive, and that's horrible to say, but to thy own self be true. I don't have the patience. So, to know that we have effortless, affordable things out here, and the way this brother breaks this down about, how certain food choices can help us in terms of diseases and all this kind of stuff. It's just amazing how when you change your mind, you literally can change your life. Okay, humanity, I'm going to give you the recipe. I guess she says she's really excited now. Anyway, with that being said, so this is what I did. When I made the Philly steak, I boiled maybe about a fourth of a cup of lentils, and I just covered them with water. I didn't fill the pot up. I covered them with lentils. I boiled them for maybe about 10 to 12 minutes. The objective is you just want them to get soft. You don't have to worry about any seasoning or anything like that, because they're going straight into the blender. And after you let them boil for 10 or 15 minutes, you're gonna let them cool, put them to the side, and then you're gonna put them in the skillet after they've cooled. You oil your skillet down, spray it down, however you want to do it. And you put the lentils in your blender, Ninja, whatever it is, and you blend them down. You want a pulse type texture. You don't want a pancake mixture. You want them to look like they've you know what pulse looks like. And so after you pulse it, that should take about 2 or 3 minutes. And so then you're going to, because you want them soft, you want them to mimic ground beef once you put the paprika on. So you're going to put that in the skillet, and you're going to put maybe about 5 tablespoons of paprika. That's a lot, I know, but you want, like I say, you want the lentils to mimic ground beef. And that color in the paprika is going to do just that. And so then you're going to go in with fourth of a cup of chopped, not diced, I'm sorry, diced onions, a fourth of a cup of diced bell peppers, or if you want the strips, it's up to you. Remember, the personalization and the customization is key. You want things that satisfy your taste, so you can stick with it. And so after you dice and dicing is simply just making it and making your vegetables into little bitty squares. You've seen the cutting of various vegetables. Sometimes they're in strips, sometimes they're just in big squares. But when they're like little bitty squares, that's dicing. And so you're gonna do one fourth cup of a half a cup. I'm sorry, half a cup of diced onions, half a cup of diced bell peppers. Um, and then you're going to go in with 1 teaspoon, I'm sorry, of diced celery. You're going to go in with 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, and 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. When I tell you that Italian seasoning, I want to step my seasoning game up by humanity. I tell you, that Italian seasoning really takes a lot of your dishes over the top. Well, at least it does to me, I should say, because a lot of you probably have so many seasonings, and you really, know how to dress it up and bring your flavor, infuse things with the flavor that you like. But anyway, I'm trying to rush now because I want to get you this other recipe, because I'm getting behind on bringing you some of these recipes. But anyway, after you get all of that in the skillet, you're going to put in 1 tablespoon of lemon pepper salt. Seasoning, I'm sorry. But if you have Himalayan salt, you can do the same thing, or you can just do sea salt. It doesn't matter, but just don't let it get too salty. But the purpose of the lemon pepper seasoning is for the salt, so be mindful of that. And so you're going to saute all of that in, and remember I said humanity. If I had I had more had I had more cheese, had I had more vegetables, I really, 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 really would have enjoyed that even the more, but I didn't. So if you have mozzarella cheese, if you have a lot of cheese, the non-dairy, I'm going to get on the other side of that cheese hopefully next week, and I can bring that cashew cheese recipe to you. And you're going to put in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce that gives you that extra flavor. You're going to saute all of that together, and mushrooms. Then you need half a cup of mushrooms, uh, uh, chopped, just chopped, and you're gonna saute all of that together, and you saute it together for maybe about 5 minutes. Then sprinkle in, the cheese of your choice, and then you're gonna put that on the bun. I made my own bun yesterday. Basically, all I did, I've given you that recipe a million times. Just the half a box of cream cheese, half of a fourth of block cheese of your choice. Put that in the microwave for a count of 70, and then you're gonna go in with and maybe about 4 to 5 tablespoons of oat flour. You should know by now, or you can use almond flour. You should know by now whether or not, because one thing I've noticed over time, when you put too much flour, it's like it's crumbly. So if you've used the recipe enough, you should know whether or not you need three spoonsful or 4 spoonsful of the oat flour. And I know you're not stressing over the oat flour. Remember, we've gone over that too. Just get your oatmeal, put it in the blender, blend it until it's powdered. That's your oat flour. You can do the same thing with pecans if you want pecan flour. I found that for me, pecan flour is a little bit more heavier. I love the taste, and so is walnut flour. Well, walnut flour seems to be just slightly a little bit lighter, but I just go in with oat flour. But be mindful that oat flour has more carbs, so you might want to do almond flour. And all you do is, after you take your cheese, your cream cheese and your cheese out, after maybe a count of 70, when it starts popping, you definitely need to take it out, and you stir that, and then you pour in your put in your 4 or 5 spoonsful of the oat flour, the flour of your choice, and you blend that together, and it should instantly, you've done the right thing instantly when you put that oat flour on, or coconut flour. I don't like coconut flour too much on too many things because it tastes like biscuits, or I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I do use it occasionally, but I try to use other flours as opposed to coconut flour. And so you're going to stir that up. It's going to mimic dough immediately. You put that in a greased loaf pan. And so what I did was I contoured the ends of the bread once I put it in, and that's going to give you just like one submarine bread. And it visualize what, or Google it, submarine bread, and you'll see how the top and the bottom of the bread is contoured. It goes like almost like in a circular motion at the top of the bread and at the bottom of the bread, and you just shape it that way with your hands, or a spoon or whatever. Just contour, put it in your loaf pan. It doesn't have to reach the top. It doesn't have to reach the bottom. Or if you want it that big, it can be that big. That's good too. And you're gonna bake that for maybe about. You're gonna bake that for maybe about yeah, about 10 minutes, because it's cheese, so it's not like it has to stay in there for a long time. And so you're gonna do that for about 10, 12 to 14 minutes, depending on your oven. Oh, and this too, I wanted to tell you to try this too. When you're baking your bread for your Philly steak, put 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and put a half a teaspoon or maybe a full teaspoon of black pepper. Or if you don't want to see the color of the pepper, you can use another pepper. It's fine. uh and because that will give your bread the herb taste. If you also want to just go a little bit further, take a half a teaspoon of buffalo wing sauce, and you can put that in as well, and then form your bread. Make sure you don't go over a half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, but teaspoon. And the teaspoon is the smaller of the spoons. And then you just shake that, like I said. You contour the ends, contour the top, contour the bottom, so it looks like submarine bread. And after you let that cool, you just slice it right down the middle. I wanted to make a thicker bread, but I didn't have enough of the cream cheese or the cheese. So, but that'll make you a nice. It'll mimic somewhat of a submarine bread. You cut it right down the middle. You put your cheese on top, and you put it in the microwave, and then you take it out, because all you're doing is melting the cheese. And after you melt the cheese on the bread, then you dress your bread up, slices of tomato, slices of lettuce, and then you top it with your Philly cheese. And if you want to go in and put uh, just maybe sprinkle a little bit of Italian seasoning. You can do that if it's not salty enough. Maybe just put a little sprinkle of salt, whatever your choice is. And then if you really, really, really want to go a step further, I have the onion gravy on there. I didn't have my ingredients, but my next Philly steak, chances are I'm going to put an onion gravy and top it with onion gravy in the middle. Okay, humanity, I've talked enough. Oh, okay. So Thomas's his channel is Thomas. It's T like is in Tom, H like is in Harry, O like is in orange, M like is in Mary, A like is in apple, S like is in Sam. And then his last name is Delore. I hope I didn't mess it up, but here's the spelling of it. It's D like is in Dan, E like is in egg, and then L like is in Larry, E like is in egg, U like is in Ulysses, and then R like is in Ray. Okay, humanity, I'm gonna go get more and bring it back to you. You know how I do it. Telling you exactly when I'm gonna bring it. Now there lies the problem, but. With all of that being said, humanity, I really do hope that you enjoy your day. I was listening to someone yesterday, and it was not about recipes. It was about the human being, the human entity, overcoming hardships, how hard this world can be, and how there can be times in your walk in wilderness where absolutely no one understands your walk. No one sees the trees. No one sees the boulders, pebbles, or what have you in the road. But if you can stay conscious of the fact that one day cannot establish tomorrow or your future, that things can change in a matter of seconds, if you can find it in you to concentrate on anything that you can be grateful for, if you have fingernails, hold on to that. And I know that's a little bit over the top, but what am I trying to say? Find something to be grateful for until you can get to the end, the exit of your wilderness, when you can see your way out. Until you can get to that point, hold on to gratefulness. Stay cognizant of the fact that you're still standing, and if you've made it this far, humanity, you can make it. Don't give up. Don't give up. You're awesome. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. You got a lot of people out here, humanity, brothers and sisters in the spirit. You say, oh, you don't even know me. In the spirit, humanity, in the spirit. Stay standing. Take care. Bye.